9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Welcome back, race fans. This down and dirty kind of style battle bass action track here. Kokomo Speedway is back here on the show, and today we're going to present to you the National Dirt Racing Association, presented in part by Everlast Speed Co. and their quest to start the season out hot and strong on a track like this. It's time to get the action going down here on the show. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show as always. As we prepare for today's action here, ready for the hot start and the hot racing coming up your way. Currently fields right now getting squared away and finishing up from qualifying here as we prepare for heat number 1 here coming up here in just a few short minutes. Right now, final qualifiers have hit the track, hit the scene. Some names you may recognize, some names you may not, and definitely quite a few faces that are going to be interesting to see throughout this show and throughout this event. Starting up, of course, Davin Cardwell, one of the only world-class licensed champion drivers here, is on the show yet again here. He'll pilot up that number 70. Jaden Cross coming away with a pretty good time as well here in that 13. He'll pilot up with a 12:35. Camden Johnson, your third fastest in this one, goes 12.37. So times-wise today, you can see they're already blistering and speeding, and they're going to be very hard to master, very tough to contain as you continue on with this race and continue on with this field. Things get a lot more interesting as you go along. But here's how Kokomo, Indiana looks here in Kokomo Speedway. It's a bull ring style track. It's a very only about a quarter-mile in length. Pretty much the only way to run it, it's outside or bottom. You choose your line. Mostly known for its open wheel setups and most open wheel racing. Then it's hard charging, quarter sliders, hard racing, top, bottom, and jumping around all over the place. The fenders of the late models and the street stocks can definitely get it done here as much as the big block modifieds can. So this certainly is a track that tests the best and the brightest, and it can give any driver out here something to think about. Wind and weather right now, overcast skies, but thankfully the wind is holding up pretty nicely. So without further ado, it's time to start up the heats and then enter into our warm-up to the A main. So let's get them on down on the pole. I just mentioned a minute ago, your number 1 qualifier, Davin Cardwell, will be in the 70. Is outside. It's Jaden Cross as he pilots it up. And then number 13. Row number 2, it's going to be Camden Johnson. The 22, it is outside. It's the 10. That's Talon Norco. Row number 3, it's Garrett Cooper. And the 124 is outside. It's the 47, Tim Christensen. Row number 4 is Todd Hook. And the 23 is outside. The 57, that's Scott Schroyer. Row number 5 is Camden Comier, and the 7 is outside. The 17, Seth Busby. Your final starter, the 5, Preston Ledford, as he'll start in the 11th slot. And our field of drivers now ready to go here. Heat number 1 is getting set up. Davin Cardwell waiting for his arrival on the pole. This field getting ready for the hard charge and hard racing that follows around here on the show. This will certainly be a testament of control and consistency. You got this heat, and then you'll have the A main coming right up afterwards. Drivers preparing for ready for the race at hand here. Caught a few of our onboard cameras here to keep an eye on out for today, of course. see those Hoosier tires being shown up on the screen, going to put up on the track here. These guys definitely know what it takes to really hammer down and put these things in full gear, full top tier equipment. Only the best and the brightest can get this one dialed up and get this one figured out here. And the anticipation awaits here for these drivers here as they're waiting for Davin Cardwell, the fastest qualifier, to get out on the track, and Preston Ledford as well. If Cardwell does not make the heat here, he will have to start in the very, very back of the field of the A main in order to then go ahead and make his race and presence felt. And he's coming real close here. Now he's going to miss the qualifying. He's going to miss the heat. So fastest qualifier will not make the charge. Something gone wrong in the motor itself in the car. So unfortunately, same thing for Preston Ledford. Both drivers will have to start in the very outhouse of this field tonight. Pace truck will bring him on around town here. We got 8 laps in the distance in this one. 11 make the field, 11 on the cut. 1 lap around here for the pace lap, and we're going to get set to go for tonight's action here. The first time we've ever seen the National Dirt Racing Association Pro Late Model Series come out on the show. Definitely not a name or a driver size you can sneeze on. These guys absolutely know how to rip it up and tear these things apart on the track. We're about to see how well they handle and do when they get around this place. Off of corner number 3 and 4, leading him down off the charts, piling him close, put him together. Let's bring the pedal to the metal. Entering into turn number 1 here, Camden Johnson takes the early lead here as he goes high side already with the 13 going down low. Look at Cross already putting the 13K right at that 22's nose. And the slide job is engaged, nailed it right off of turn number 4, gets it right through turn 1 and 2. Camden gonna have some work to do here to get around Cross. Oh, he throws one right off of turn number 4 right at him. Couldn't quite get it to stick though. Both drivers in a dead heat while Garrett Cooper watches on from the inside zone. Trying to make a run for both drivers here. He is piloting that thing straight into the ground in the dirt. You'll see the cars literally lifting off the track. Just hitting these turns and hitting these spots up. Battle in the back here a little bit as there's problems down there for the 23 of Todd Hook. Cameron Comier right now on the number 7, getting it right on the nose, pushing it right up ahead of him here. Scott Schroyer as well as Seth Bubsey in the 57 and the 77 respectfully doing their own little thing, but the battle is up front. Oh, contact made there off of corner number 4 here. A little bumping, rubbing, and banging there from the 10 of Talon Norco into the 13K of Caden Cross. 3 wide saluting down on the bottom end of the track, nearly 4 wide entering off. 2 laps to go, green flag high in the air. They're still putting each other straight to the wall. Protection goes Jaden Cross. Cross out of this one. He'll have to try to resort back to the hay main here from that little tag he received. Off the final corners here, down in turn number 2 here. The 124 here. Cooper gets a run off on the 22. Camden straight to the finish line, though. It's going to be a dead heat to the finish. And it's going to be by half a car length. Just a tire to the end for Garrett Cooper. 0.07 of a second changed on there by the 124. Camden Johnson just barely come up short in this one. Talon Norco will go in a proverbial 3rd place. Warm-up session is now in full gear, and race fans, that was certainly something to behold for their first heat ever of the season. If that's what we're in for the A main, I think we're in for a show here. Garrett Cooper comes for the win. Camden Johnson fought hard, valiantly. Not enough, though. Talon Norco goes 3rd, 4th to Tim Christensen. 5th, Todd Hook. Rounds out your top 5 here. Has now the 11 drivers. Will now hit them up down on the track side here. Tim Christensen will get his laps around the track here, give himself a little bit of a flank field, a little bit of a view down here. All drivers are on the clock here, so you will see the clock kind of timed up there, up the top left of your screen there. 4 minutes remaining in the warm-up session. Christensen laying down at 12.61. Schroyer, we'll see what his time is here in the warm-up. And he's going to be about a couple tenths off from that one there. Actually, nearly, he's in the 13-second range there. Todd Hook getting a little bit of a better time, but still not enough to take Christensen's. A lot of drivers are going to be trying to head towards that bottom lane down where the infield tire is. A lot of guys are going to be trying to run right up near that wall protection. The main thing though to watch out for is just how much movement and travel these cars can take. You can see the difference maker by all drivers. Literally when you're going into the bottom lane, this is the uniqueness and the brilliance of iRacing. You can see the car literally lift off the ground when it gets onto a flat surface and literally see it just rise up to gain that speed. But when it's on the high banked ends, the car is stable down there. It is stick to the glue, like glue to the surface. That is the uniqueness and the brilliance that is iRacing here. Always seems to be putting on a bit of a show, putting on a little bit of a run down there. And you can see how hard they got to work those wheels in. They work each part of these tracks here, each part of the car. It's all do or go time for when you get out on the tracks, and certainly will be some hard racing and maybe then some here, but nevertheless, folks, still plenty of time to come on live, come on down. So be sure to show us one around, show NDRA a little love as we take one quick commercial break. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, presented in part by the good friends over at Everlast Speed Co. Be sure to check them out on their Facebook and at Everlast Speed Co. And a very big thank you from us here at PTM Racing TV and the NDRA for coming on board here for this season. This is your intervals right now, currently out of the warm-up session here that you're seeing on the top of your screen. Field kind of just narrowing down each corner, kind of narrowing themselves down around the track, trying to find some momentum. When we were in the heats there, we saw Camden Johnson pretty much take full advantage and take full strength on the track there, but it was not to last out forever as he was actually clipped up just enough by Garrett Cooper. We'll see if Garrett can continue that speed, that momentum in this main event now as we're getting the drivers ready to go down on the field, down on the ends once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. On the pole, Garrett Cooper will be in the 124 as outside Camden Johnson. In the number 22, row number 2, Talon Norco. In the number 10 is outside, that will be the 47, Tim Christensen. Row number 3 is Todd Hook, and the 23 is outside the 7 of Cameron Cormier. Row 4, Scott Schroyer, and the 57 is outside the 17, Seth Busby. Row 5, Jaden Cross, 13 is outside Davin Cardwell. In the 70, final starter, Preston Ledford. In the 5, and race fans, the time has come, the time is here, the place is now. Let's bring it down to the wire. Prepare for some A-Main Pro Race at Kokomo. So here we go, drivers preparing up for the A-Main now. Pace car off of corners number 3 and 4 at the moment. We're going to get everyone squared away here, get them ready to go for tonight's action. The A-Main, presented in part by Everlast Speed Co, is about to take place, take shape here. This hungry field of Pro Late Model drivers came to put on a show for you fans here in Indiana. They came on to put on a show for all around the world to see here on PTM Racing TV. And with the time here and now, let's settle the score. Put the pedal into the metal and put the dirt straight to the floorboards. Here we go. Well, out of the gate here, Garrett Cooper gets the early advance here, while Cannon Johnson, Todd Hook will try to hunt him down here. 3 wide slid right in the middle of the front straightaway here as we got a battle here in the back of the pack. Davin Cardwell in the 70 trying to make an early advance here. A little charge there up ahead of Talon Norco here. Talon trying to hold the bottom end. Cardwell going right towards that middle section here, and then right on top side. You see that 47 Tim Christensen just riding the wall, working that thing on in, trying to get the cushion to stick a little bit, but it's not gripping nearly as hard as he would like it to be. The 13 Jaden Cross here had a bad break earlier on in his heat. Got kind of clipped up there by Talon. He wants a little payback there in this A main. You can give the receipt out to the drivers for that one. Todd Hook driving extremely hard up on the top side, getting a diamond shape off on the corners there. Not sure if that'll hold up for the long haul, but he certainly thinks it will, as we have ourselves a new leader with the 22. Cannon Johnson taking this one over. Garrett Cooper right now trying to get his speed back, trying to find his momentum back in the run here. It looks like he's struggling a little bit with the track starting to slick up. The rubber starting to be laid down on the track, starting to tear up these cars, starting to give them a little bit more of a headache here to work around. As he continues to dive this thing on in, you can see him in the that E-Sparco helmet and visor all being put up. And from the bottom of the depths below to the heavens above, here comes a little run from the 13K. Jaden Cross not giving an inch here. He wants all the momentum. He wants all the power under the hood here. See these drivers completely hammer down, hammer throttle every which way to Sunday, not giving an inch here. Is a little bit of a fender or two being put up onto the 23s. Renault's there from the 1310, Jaden Cross. Cross giving him something to think about here, but so does that 70 as he goes 3 wide saloon right between the 10T and as well the 23. Talon Norco saw every ounce of Cardwell's rear bumper and spoiler there, and he saw all that kind of putting right up against him here. Fenders being slid up a little bit. He knows he's in a hard charge with him. Each driver doing their own thing, trying to hang on. Scott Schroyer, a little bit of a problem down there. Had to enter pit road here a little bit. Doesn't want to ruin this glorious battle, this glorious race going right up ahead. Tim Christensen trying to make a move, trying to make some charges up back into the field here as the drivers lead up front. Knows he can get something working his way a little bit if he can just start to dig the car in a little deeper, but you can see the bottom is starting to fade slightly. There's only 2 ways around, bottom or top. If you run the middle, you have to be very careful on how deep you go in, otherwise you may lose your momentum more than you realize. Garrett Cooper in the Capital Race cars, number 124 here, trying to hold the 13K across behind him just a little bit. Trying to hold him off. Across says, to heck with that. I'm out for revenge, my friends. I want this W. He sends it on down with Davin Cardwell following right behind him. Looks like he found it a little late here. He's going right top side as the 70 goes straight into the wall. Protection off turn number 3. My, oh my, that's not usually something you see from the 70, especially a driver of his talent getting caught up into, but that was certainly a mistake and a half there entering into the turn. I don't know if he just caught the corner a little too tight or if he got pushed up a little bit. We'll take a look at the PTM replay presented in part by Everlast Speed Co. Watch corner number 2 here. You take a look at that rear end. Did he clip too much of it? Looks like he did. Yeah, he clipped the right side, and you can see that car completely sent straight in. He had nowhere to go, and he got clipped in there, unfortunately. One more look at it. This is the nose cam of the 70. You see that slight bobble? That's all it took. He just kind of drove it in, and it's hooked the hit. Cardwell is okay, although I gotta believe the car may be a little bit worse for wear, and he's not too happy about that one. Back to the green flag. We're actioned again. Fired him on down here. Bumpers put together here yet again on PTM TV. Drivers just come. Drivers throwing it all to the wire, throwing it into the haymakers. They know they're halfway done with this one. Todd Hook in the 23 trying to make a little bit of a charge here right at that 10T. Here as they're nearly 4 wide, saluting it right off the edges. Cardwell, despite damaging that thing up, he's not done yet. He just says, oh no, we're not done here. Kokomo, you owe me one now, my friend. I'm going for it. 4 wide salute for a brief fleeting moment. They hang the 3 wide. Look at the 70 cut it from the bottom. Bumps the 47 and Tim Christensen gets a better run than Todd Hook in this white 3. And now it's Christensen's turn to hammer the throttle down, send it on to this way. 10C, it's Alan Norco and Garrett Cooper in a heated battle. It's a frenzy for third. The mid-back rolling these things off the corners into the distance, while your leader, Camden Johnson, slowed up just a little bit now from that caution. Now has to deal with the ever-looming threat of Jaden Cross. Cross trying to make a run at him here, trying to move towards top side here. Every single one of these drivers going towards the top. The bottom is completely gone for what they wanted to do. They have no more run up there. They have to start taking it towards the top end of the track. 24 laps remain here as the field continues to drive him on Indy. And Cardwell, yet again, not giving an inch here. He's getting closer to that tractor tire than I can usually get at a Walmart with anybody around me. He is heading to everything he's got and doing everything he can to hold this thing online. Meanwhile, Todd Hook and Tim Christensen, what a battle here for 6th. Christensen in the 47 here trying to hold that 23 back a little bit. Wall riding slightly off, has to get off the throttle, get back on the pace until he smashes the wall. You see the car trying to lift up there. He drove it in deep and it did not stick. The 487 takes a huge hit. How bad that messed the suspension up, it will be kind of telling in the tail later. Dallin Norco here, right back at it here in the 10T with that 13K of Jaden Cross right in front of him. Down low, slide job, ready to engage. Can he throw the haymaker? Throws a hard charge, throws it right at him. Cross blocks it. Cross saw him coming, he blocked him. He knew what he did last time in the heats. He knew he couldn't do it again. Norco backed off. And Norco trying to see if maybe there's something left to give it. Cross. Camden Johnson has just ran away from the field. He's left them high and dry, but there's problems down there for Garrett Cooper. The 124 comes to a dead stop here on the front straightaway. Yeah, with only a few laps remaining too in this feature, that certainly is going to slow these guys down a little bit and make things a little bit more difficult and risky here for them. Here's another look at it for the PTM replay. Here's what happened to the 124. As I believe that's the Mazda 124 get clipped in by Cardwell, because Cardwell really had nowhere to go in his mind. Ends up getting a piece of him there. Cardwell, though, has to serve a penalty there. He has been black flagged for that one, so he'll have to go to the outhouse for that one. This is the kind of racing that puts 2 and 2 together. You can see right there, just that slight tab. It doesn't look intentional by any means. It looked like the 124 just kind of went down low at the 70. Unfortunately, from that angle of that shot, a bit of a bad break and a little bit of a tough shot there. Unfortunately. Field going to work their way on around, double file them up yet again here, bringing them back off of corner number 4. And we're going to stay under yellow, yellow, yellow. Not yet, boys, not yet. We need to get everyone back in line. You can't have a race with everyone just getting out of line here like that. You know that. Field to get squared away here. We'll see what happens, though, with Camden Johnson and Talon Norco, as well as Jaden Cross here in this field. Alright, looks like we got them all squared away now. Camden Johnson, your race leader. He's been holding back this heavy artillery of drivers in this field. They've been trying to do everything they can to pile this one at him and fire everything they got. Will they get a second chance here? Off of corner number 3, down into turn number 4. Green flag, back on out. And straight to the bottom lane goes Cross, looking to throw the haymaker at Johnson. Johnson knows he's there. He's looking for him. Norco's trying to get to him as well, trying to top side, kind of do what Johnson's up to. Cross with a huge slide job, though. Had a bit of speed coming off, but he couldn't get the run. Now Johnson down to the bottom, right in the middle section, trying to block that run there from Cross. Cross is going to have to find something up there and try to fit some momentum going. Johnson's not going to give him any openings here, none whatsoever. He knows he can't open the door up anymore. He's got to start closing gaps off. Right behind the field here, rest of the field moving their way on in. You see a 7 of Cameron Cormier there on the bottom lane trying to get his lap back. The 7 machine not having a very good day, unfortunately for him and his crew. That does not mean he's giving up, though. He will not go out without a fight. Davin Cardwell, is there anything this guy won't do to try to make it through the entire field? He's already been put in the outhouse like twice. He won't quit. He says, you can keep putting me back there, but that one was definitely not on me. He says, Tim Christensen drove it a little hard there at Todd Hook, and, well, he pretty much hooked him there in the corner. Unfortunately, he didn't only did he hook the corner, he hooked himself and the driver. Jane Cross, though, now look at this. Here's the battle for the lead. 5 to go. Off of corner number 4. There's a double file in here. Both drivers with 5 laps left. It's anybody's race. Anybody's race, and right now Cross has a slight advantage on the bottom lane in 3 and 4. Johnson needs to start getting them better in turn 1 and 2. He's going to stay top side. Cross is going to look towards the bottom on those ends. So seemingly just a duel, one another, a dual face here. If you want to play the game, you better play it right. These drivers absolutely airing this one up to the line. Johnson into the wall protection. That might hurt him a little bit coming on the final set of corners. We have 2 laps left to go, and Cross seemingly almost got him right there on that corner there. Can he throw the final slide job at Jan Johnson? No, he won't. He'll tell you right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the white flag lap presented by Everlast Speed Co. Johnson looking for one last fight, one last run off on Cross. Cross is going to dive it in deep on the bottom lane. Johnson's going to fire hard off to the final set of corners. And off of turn 4, Cross will get him. Cross pulls away the W after a heated heat. He will bring home the A main in this one, and what a race between 2 of the heavy hitters in this league. Unbelievable. And that is official. He'll park it up there in victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, Jaden Cross. And the 13K pulls off an absolute upset. Johnson knew the cautions were getting to him. He knew they were getting the better of him. That one cost him. And this one will go to Jaden Cross. An absolute barn burner fight to the end by all drivers involved. What a race and what a finish here on PTM Racing TV. That's just the first race this season, by the way. Imagine what we're going to see in the coming weeks to come. All right, here though is your final or your finishers here in this one. Top 5 will go through. Jaden Cross, Camden Johnson, Talon Norco. They will talk with us here in just a minute about their top 3 finish. Davin Cardwell gave it everything he had. Comes up just a little short. Goes 4th. Todd Hook, a surprise finish here from his heat. He'll go 5th to round out your field for the top 5. What a race. What a performance here. And now it's time to talk with the drivers here. Let's bring him in on now, ladies and gentlemen. He pulls the W off here at Kokomo. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner in the 13K, it's Jaden Cross. Cross, congratulations on this one here, sir. And what an absolute shootout between you and Johnson to the line. This one took the distance.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
It really was fun. It was a lot of fun to call and see us action here. So tell me, right, how was the bottom lane feeling for you a little bit later in that race? Because it seemed like a lot of folks were starting to go up to the top side, trying to get more run to follow leader, but you were the only one that really seemingly just said, no, I'm staying in the bottom. I'm going to keep it there.
Yeah, well, I built this setup a while back, and I just made it for the bottom, but I mean, that's mostly why it was working for me. I mean, it was there, nobody was really wondering it, and I was like, well, the only way I'm going to win is if I go down there, and, I just went ahead and went down there and tried it.
You broke the mold and broke the streak there from follow the leader and did your own way, and then it was Johnson following you. So with this win here at Kokomo, who do you want to thank here today for this?
I have to thank White Knuckle Setup Shop. They helped me get this setup together, and Sub-Zero Sim Racing and K1 Race Gear.
For sure there. Well, Cross, nevertheless, congratulations. The first race this season, a big victory for you and your team. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man. Have a nice day.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaden Cross comes away with the W and the victory here at Kokomo. Second place finisher, though, is going to be a solid positioner in the 22, Camden Johnson here. We'll see if the other drivers will come talk with us here. If the other two would like to do, we'll give them a couple minutes. Of course, we'll give a little shout out to our sponsor here in just a minute as well. We'll see Talon Norco. What a performance here. He obviously had a little bit of trouble there in the heat with kind of getting into it a little bit with some of the drivers, but nevertheless managing to pull off a smart finish and a great run to the end there. Certainly was something to be had and something to behold, so we'll give him a few more seconds here, a few more minutes, and then we'll call it good. But race fans, again, tonight's race show coverage, of course, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Everlast Speed Co. Again, check them out on Facebook, everyone. Take a look at their stuff and see what they can offer you in the world of racing and the world of motorsports. A big thank you again from the National Dirt Racing Association and us here at PTM Racing TV to Everlast Speed Co. And what a race, what a battle, and what a position here for these drivers. Performance, very much so, very tough to tame, very tough to complete. And these drivers gave it everything they had and then some. And definitely got to give them credit where credit's due for that. And then in here, so as we now joined in by Norco here, he is with us now on the line. We got him all mic'd up. Dallin, congratulations on a third place finish here, sir. And really, you know, we kind of talked about it a little bit across, but this track, there was like two lines you can hit. You can go to the bottom, you can go to the top side. Obviously, Cross went to the bottom. You were running towards that outside line, but you had quite a bit of a fight there with Carwell and Johnson kind of leaning up to the end. What was it like down there when you were starting out these restarts?
Yeah, I got a good restart, and then the caution came out right after. So Jaden picked the bottom. I ran the top. I was running around him, and then he pushed up a little bit, and I got into the wall, and he didn't touch me, but I kind of got up in the wall and knocked my rear out. So I was just holding on after that.
Holding on to a car like this on a track that's as fearsome, as tough to tame as a bull ring like this, how difficult is it just to even get that rear end to stay in check and stay in place, much less even trying to ride around this place?
Honestly, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to hold on to that. I don't know. I don't know how I did it.
Well, you may not know how you did it, but hey, at least you did it anyway, and it's all completed. So you're coming away here today as a third place finish here with the NDR race here, the first season opener. So Norco, let me ask you this, sir: who do you want to thank here for this finish today?
Yeah, I want to thank Mid-South Mafia Sim Sports, Nick Learnt Racing Association, W Energy Drink, Down Under Photography, Agility Speed Shop for these sets, and CFM Esports.
Certainly a lot of folks made proud of and made showcase here today for you and your crew. Norco, congratulations on this one, sir. Well deserved for a third place finish.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here today, Mr. Talon Norco in the number 10T. Well, I mentioned earlier that Camden Johnson came away second out of the field. I have not received word yet or not if he will join us, so we'll give him one more minute or so before we're going to cut the stream off here and call it a day. But race fans, this has been an absolute battle and a half here. Thank you for tuning out here at Kokomo, Indiana, excuse me. Kokomo Speedway has certainly given us results, and yeah, it's definitely a track that can give results, but it can be a bit of a tough one to deal with. But nevertheless, though, it has been a great show, great showcase here for these drivers. So a big thank you again to all those that showed up today, and hopefully we will see more along the lines and down the road. But I think that will cover tonight's action here on the show. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning on in. A big thank you to our friends over at Everlast Speed Co. for all their support and everything they've done, and a big thank you to all those that tuned on in. Be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook, head over to our YouTube, subscribe there so you guys never miss a show, never miss a beat. And from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, we're signing out for tonight. Let's catch you tomorrow night as we have Misfits Racing League back on the track.